The good ride, because pros can ride anything. We can't.
Okay, 57.
So this, Good Ride readers, is the review of the Ride Twin Pig, which I feel is basically the Helix combined with the War Pig with a touch of the Crook to give it that kind of light, kind of fun, easy flex. And it feels very light for a board this weight. Like, just feeling it for this width, it feels about this, you know, who knows, and widths vary from board to board because it's wood in there, but it feels pretty light for its width. I think it's like a 27 centimeter width for this 157, which is super wide, super wide. But it's got good pop. It's you know, it's got good, you know, butterability. It's easy to butter. You know, it's got that hybrid camber kind of thing going, a camber between the feet, a mellow camber between the feet going to a mellow rocker, unlike the War Pig that's like flat to rocker. And I rode this against a bunch of different boards. I rode this against my Proto Type 2. I rode this against the Machete. I rode this against the War Pig. And it was really surprising. Like, this and the War Pig felt similar because I was riding like the War Pig, I think, in large, which is like a 54. And this is kind of like probably the equivalent to that. I wish I was a size down in both of them. But what I found was, you know, riding this, it's fun, and you're like, oh, I'm making turns, I'm having fun. This is, you know, it's super buttery, it's super easy to just make turns on and have fun on the mountain. And then you get off this and you get on the Ride Machete, or you get on the Never Summer Prototype 2, or I wish I had the greats, but I don't have the 19 greats with me yet. I'm getting that thing though. And you know, but you get on like much narrower boards and you're like, oh my God, this thing turns so fast, it's scary. You get used very quickly, you get used to the slower turn initiation. I don't know what's happening. I'm talking like my 5-year-old daughter these days. I've been hanging out with her too much. But it's like the slow turn initiation is not as bad as you would think for a 27 centimeter waist, but it's like the tortoise and the hare when you get off this board, same boots, bindings, everything, and you ride one of those. I mainly rode this with Union Super Pros and my Adidas Tactical ADVs, but I did ride them with Adidas Samba and Adidas Superstars, and one day put on Union Atlas. I didn't have ride bindings to ride them with this year. All I got was boards. But, you know, I gotta say, it's a fun board, and if you're looking for a short, fatty kind of change up with a little bit of, you know, a little bit of pop, a little bit of a cambery feel, but catch free, and you like the idea of the War Pig, but you just ride switch a lot more, the War Pig rides switch pretty well, and it's a pretty fun board. But if you want a true asymmetrical twin kind of thing going here, then you've got the Ride Twin Pig, and I think it's a really fun take on the War Pig. And I would say it's stable. You just feel like you're riding, like, you know, it's like you're riding a crossover SUV, or you know, a pretty big SUV or a big truck. you know, a light truck, and then when you get on a machete or something else, you feel like you're getting into a sports car. But what's really cool about this, it doesn't catch, you can skid turns, you can hang out, you can have a good time, and it's stable between the feet for one footing and flat basing and all that. Turn initiation's really kind of, I'd say, slow, medium slow. But you get used to it. It's much better. You would think this would be a nightmare. You would think you wouldn't even be able to get over on edge. You'd think it would be like this. Okay, turning. Okay, now we finally got to the edge. But no, it actually turns more responsive than you would think, but it's slow turn initiation. The turning experience is fun. I actually had more fun turning this and carving with this than I did the War Pig. Which is kind of funny because this is kind of the twin and the War Pig's a little more directional, you know, so you would think that would shine there, where this feels like you can turn the mountain, you can have fun on the mountain, you can have fun in the park, you can have a lot of fun on the park, but you can still go ride the mountain. You know, in carving, it's not a dream carver by any means, but you can really get through a turn as long as you're in soft snow. And, you know, for speed, yeah, it's not a powerhouse. I definitely like the War Pig better. I felt it was faster. Even the Machete GT, I felt, had more mountain capability. But it doesn't chatter too much. It's, you know, and it's big and wide, and so you can get some cool cruising mountain experience going on here. You know, and in terms of, you know, like uneven terrain, it's okay. I mean, I could ride this all day in a resort. The only thing I wouldn't want to do is just get in really tight situations where I really had to turn quick and kind of weave in and out of bumps. I'd much rather be on something else. Maybe it would be better if I sized down to the 51. It might be more doable. And always take this with a grain of salt because I am riding a 57, and the 51 would be a better fit for my size 9 boots. And then, you know, for powder, I think it's just going to have like that kind of like just be really floaty for a twin. If you're somebody looking for a twin powder board, this should be at the top of your list because it's got so much surface area. It's not really like designed to be this super floaty powder board, and there's lots of options out there like the GNU Double Dip, and you know, like if smoking's even still in business, you know, they're Back to the Future, whatever it is, they're twin. That's a super fun board. You've got the Yes 2020. You've got a lot of more dedicated powder boards, but this width and this early rise rocker just really makes for a fun, you know, a fun floating board. I wouldn't want to ride it in the trees, but in dense trees, but I think it would do a great job. You know, edge hold, it's not quite there. It really starts to let go in medium to medium bordering on hard snow. That's kind of where you kind of draw the line. You kind of want to ride this only in really good conditions. I felt the edge let go here and there, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. It's just not something you'd want to get if you're riding like really you know, riding in really hard conditions often, to icy. I would probably not get this then. I don't know. I don't think there's enough sharpening you can do with the edges. And then, you know, for hitting the park, I mean, God, this is fun on a little kicker or two. It's got good pop. It really feels lively underfoot. It doesn't have that ride like ultra damp personality that that a lot of ride boards have. It has that kind of ultra light personality, and it feels kind of like a fun poppy snowboard. And you could jib with this. I wouldn't want to hit the pipe with this. It's just too big for me. Maybe the 51 might be more fun, but you know, it would just be a different way of riding the pipe than most like to, like myself. Like I like kind of a board more like maybe the Prototype 2 there. That's a little more narrow, a little more easy to flip from edge to edge. But I can see some having fun doing it. You know, it just depends on the kind of rider you are and your ability level and your athleticism and just, you know, what you prefer. But all in all, I had a really good time with the Twin Pig, and you know, I think it's a nice compliment to the War Pig. I liked the way it turned. I had a fun time on the mountain with it. It was just so surprising how different it was going from like this to like the Machete, or this to like the Prototype 2, or any other kind of small, like normal width twin, you're like, wow, there is such a difference. But it's a fun feeling. It's a cool, cruisy type of feel, and I think you can have a lot of fun with it.